Hello and welcome to episode 152 of Nolo Time. My name, or me, is what's left of Obed Velez, and with me is the most interesting man in the world, Joel Young.
What's good, Obed? I'm glad you survived the week, sir.
It's been a week,
Glad that
man.
we're here. Yeah,
Yeah,
busy,
yeah.
busy, busy. Just life, everything, but
Oh,
we made it, and we're happy to
absolutely.
be here with you all, and we're happy to bring some fun topics that will make everyone hopefully not think about all the craziness in the world and just have a good time and
Yeah,
enjoy talking about things we love.
yeah, absolutely. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. I'm happy now that we're going to the weekend. A nice little extended weekend. Personally, you and I both are in those situations. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to getting some time in gaming. Looking forward to getting some time in relaxing. It's been strange not to go to the movies, for anything. Like just the thought of it. We covered it in our last episode about how Marvel's moving everything up to a year away, and I know that Star Wars Empire Strikes Back just had a anniversary, and they were re-released in
I
the
saw
theaters. I
that.
did not get to make it out for that. Really wanted to, but yeah, man, just
Any
being
other,
extra
yeah,
cautious.
any other year I would have done it because that's
Yeah,
my favorite movie of all time. So,
see that on the big screen, see Vader on the big screen, legit old
yeah,
school, would be amazing. But
yeah.
yeah, I mean, hopefully, things get better in the world, and it's a tough time, but yeah, it feels very strange, my friend, to not be seeing any new movies and everything that I am watching is like a Netflix movie. Which, no offense, like thank goodness we have that option, right? But the quality of the content is very different.
Sometimes is
Yeah.
sort of questionable in some cases. But yeah, man, nothing much on my end. I've been pretty low key. I actually finished something, Joel, that I've been meaning to watch for the last 2 years. It's season one of The Punisher.
Wow, season one, not
Season
even
one.
season.
So I watched. I'm 2 episodes into season two because I kept going. But I finally finished it, man. Holy crap! It only took me about a year and a half, right?
Season two is good,
Damn,
bro.
dude. I'm
Jump
so
into it.
far, yeah, so far is good. I did not expect to see Russo back. Spoiler alert. Like I didn't expect it. So right, me, did you ever watch that terrible Punisher Warzone movie?
Yes.
Yeah. So I didn't remember that Russo was Jigsaw. So when he was getting his face like smashed in at the, again, spoilers, whatever, it's 2 years old.
Yeah, right. It's been out.
Yeah. When he's getting his face smashed in at the end of season one, I was like, wait, he is Jigsaw. So like I realized it right there, and then it's like I just couldn't remember, right? Uh, by the way, that movie is terrible. That Punisher Warzone, and the makeup is laughable, and it's
One,
just,
I've seen it one time.
oh yeah. I
It's
mean,
enough to imprint
oh yeah,
images on my
it's
mind.
it's Catwoman bad in my opinion. I'm
Yeah,
not,
yeah.
yeah. Um, so I finished that. That was pretty good. I started watching season two of The Boys. That started like pretty like straight to the point too, because it's like season one ended in a major cliffhanger. So season two kind of picks up a little bit after season one, but I saw a lot of people hating on season two. We'll see, but I mean, I wanted to watch the first episode and it was good, so I'll keep going for sure. Other than that, I actually went ahead and upgraded my Street Fighter V 2 Champion Edition. So I gave in and I bought the update pack with the other characters and the backgrounds and all the colors and everything unlocked basically that you get with the Champion Edition. So yeah, I played that a little bit on Saturday. That was good. I can't remember. I was, yeah, Sunday, man. I just played Battlefront 2 again. Like I went back to it. I don't know, man. That game's still like it. I like it. That game is good. Like you guys are haters.
But also just a matter of fact that it does help the fact that it is a Star Wars game. Like, and if anyone
Yeah,
knows our
yeah.
show and knows us, when we say we love Star Wars, we really do.
Oh yeah,
So if it's a good game, it's a Star Wars game, totally,
absolutely.
totally is.
The big thing I I don't know if you saw that that Squadrons is getting good reviews on the
Yes.
single player. Uh, I totally forgot that the game was coming out.
Yeah.
And that game's out tomorrow, right? I think.
Is it? I
I
thought it was
think.
end of this month. Forgive me. I
No,
switched
I
you
think it's
again.
no. Yeah, yeah. I think it's out tomorrow, man.
Wow. Jeez.
Live fact check on that. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I did see that like there's like 19 minutes of gameplay out there and stuff like that. I'm like I'm not needing to see that. I'm sure I'll play it at some point.
Yeah,
And
it's out tomorrow.
oh wow,
Yeah. So
39.99.
yeah, it's a budget game. You know, if you were planning to get a game, a Star Wars game or whatnot, get Battlefront 2.
Well, yeah, I was just about to say PS Plus, but like, oh no, Joel, that was a while ago. If you grabbed it,
Yeah. If you grabbed it on PS Plus, then you're golden, man. Because
yeah.
you can just go in and there's plenty of stuff to do there with a single player and then getting into the multiplayer. So yeah, no issues there. There was a, you know, most of the rooms that I went in were full right from the get go. So we had a pretty good time. I actually played against a guy that I've never, or a player, right? I don't know if it's a guy or a girl, that I've never played against ever before, and I played that game a lot, and it was interesting because just really good. It was like, oh man, this is like a really good player. Um, yeah, did okay. Like did on was basically finishing like top five on every match. Uh, it's good. That game's good. It's probably my favorite like online multiplayer game that I've played this generation because other than Street Fighter and Dragon Ball, they have their problems with online. But Battlefront was always consistent for me, especially after the first big update that came out in like January after the game was out. Yeah, it's worth it. It's a good game. I don't see a reason why people should be hating on it for sure. So yeah. Uh, Joe, let's go ahead and start with our topics here. Um, where should we start? Should we start with our mandatory Star Wars update?
It's fine. I love it. Let's do it.
Yep. Okay. So last week we forgot to talk about, and give me 1 second because my OCD is kicking in, and I see that our stream is not aligned properly. Excuse me.
See, guys, we do it for the fans. We do it for you guys.
Do it for the OCD. So here we go. Now I can fix it. Ha! No, not you.
For our podcast listeners, we're talking about our Facebook Live and, of course, for YouTube.
There you go. Thank you.
Nice little fun plug.
Ah, finally. Okay,
Looks good.
here we go. It's way better. So, last week we forgot to talk about the rumors that Pedro Pascal was like, "Peace out, bros," and left. There's a lot of conflicting information. First of all, it came from a source that it was not 100% reliable. It's a source that you've mentioned on the podcast before, but turns out that apparently that rumor was it was not 100% accurate, but it did have some validity to it. Our good friend Overlord DVD put out a video last week. I didn't watch it last week, right? I think it came out the same day that we recorded last week, but I didn't watch it. I don't know why. I just skipped it, and I was like, I don't feel like watching. This video now is probably drama and whatnot. So, but Saturday I watched it. I was having lunch, and then I went ahead and put on the video. So he goes over the initial rumors of Pedro Pascal just leaving production, right? And saying he wasn't happy because he wasn't getting enough time without the helmet off, and he wanted to act and he wanted to emote and do these actor things. So, apparently, excuse me. So apparently, what happened was that season 2 is already done, right? But that's a done deal. That starts here in about 4 weeks. We'll get the first episode. And then they were going to do season 3 and season 4 back to back. So they're saying that Pedro left during production that is not 100% true based on what Overlord DVD is saying. This has not been confirmed by Disney, but I do believe this to be true, that Pedro Pascal will no longer be under the helmet for season 3 and 4, and he will record his lines as a voiceover. We talked about it when the first season came out last year. I think you mentioned it that Pedro was not under the suit for most of the show. It was stunt doubles, and then he was getting his lines recorded basically. So I guess that's what they were agreed on to for seasons 3 and 4. Just because him saying, and I totally understand where he's coming from, right? Him saying, if I'm not gonna be on camera, I can do this remotely, basically, and you can have a stunt double do my work, do the body work, basically. And I guess somehow Lucasfilm agreed on it. Rumor was that he went to Kathleen Kennedy to complain about it. Overlord DVD goes over how that is not entirely true, because Kathleen Kennedy has basically no power over the Mandalorian project. And that's where we are right now with that, Joel. What do you think?
So my gut reaction when I first heard the news, first of all, the source that it came from, that started the domino effect of this whole thing, like you mentioned from the top of the show. I don't believe anything this person has to say. They've been extremely wrong on a lot of things. I mean, you can literally Google search the name of this individual and their track record, and it's been like atrociously debunked, the stuff that they throw out.
A lot of it, yeah.
And so then when you start seeing people like Overlord, DVD Overlord, and some of the other places that this started to go around. To
Yeah,
be
Star Wars
honest,
Theory and all the Star Wars guys on YouTube.
right, everyone had to talk about it, but the ones that started to give it life, in my opinion, is the ones that we talk about before here on our show several times. It's
Yeah.
the Star Wars people that, I'm not gonna say they're not fans, but they're the kind of people that they're like those people on Facebook that you follow that get excited about negative stuff that's not always true. That's kind of how I feel about some fans, some of the fans and people that are going around here. Like, they look for something negative, like, see, it's an absolute disaster again, another negative story with Star Wars.
Yep.
That's kind of how I felt about it, to be honest. And my gut reaction is still like very on the side of, it's hard for me to believe. It just sounds so ridiculous. And then I watched Theory's video on it, and he completely, like, it's crazy because he said the exact same stuff that I was saying. Like, to me, it sounds so ridiculous, it's kind of hard to believe.
Yeah,
Like, when something sounds this ridiculous, it's like hard for you to really just give it that much life. That doesn't mean it's not true, because my whole point with saying all of that is my gut feeling is that I have no knowledge. My gut feeling is this, and then how easy would it be for these guys to come out and just debunk this, and no one has. So that is a part that does start to make me side on, like, you know what, a version of this might be true. Like you said, I had mentioned it beforehand on season 1, how the guy was basically never there, and it was confirmed by each director. Like, there's only 2 episodes, I think, that he actually was in the suit, and not even for the whole thing, just for like a couple scenes was him doing it. So I feel like that's like, if you're him, you're happy, you take the money and you run. I don't know. He's not been known for being a problem person like this, so it's kind of hard for me to see this level. But again, I don't know, man. Like, I think it's being blown out of proportion. I think it's a little ridiculous. Like, I don't think it has any effect on the story. I don't think things are going to suddenly change. But maybe I'll see season 2, and maybe there will be some stuff where I'll go, oh, maybe, he really was more, or whatever. I don't know. There's not enough to be known. So that's everything else that's being said is pure speculation.
Yep.
But yeah, trying to play along with this, it's hard for me to really buy into it. But we'll see. I mean, I'd be curious if any of you saw the Disney gallery on the Mandalorian. I mean,
Yeah.
he was pretty open about how much he enjoyed just doing the voice work, and he enjoyed the helmet and all this kind of stuff. So I'm like, it kind of seems strange that they literally took time out of the show, had a whole episode on the actors and him talking about his work doing the voiceover stuff and how they did it, and him working with Dave and John in the voice studio, whatever, to get it right.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Just something doesn't seem right about it, but
Yeah. I think I believe it. Right. I think he's a well-versed actor, and he's he can find more stuff to do and do right, and do just a voiceover for Mando, and that's fine, right? Because the most iconic Star Wars character was a voiceover based, yeah, exactly, right? Like you know, not even the actor knew he was gonna get voiced over. Like not even David Prowse. He was doing his lines, and then he didn't know, and he didn't know that he was gonna get voiced over, right? By James Earl Jones. So that's, I mean, this is not a first for Star Wars. That's
Ray
a
Park and this guy Sam Witwer
oh,
voiceover.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, I think if it's true, it's not a deterrent. It's gonna be fine. Mando's gonna be fine. I don't see a big thing that, this is not gonna be a big thing. This is not gonna be a show ending, crazy thing that's happening. It's more of a logistics thing that they're going in favor of what the actor feels is better for him, and that's fine, right? Um, and which in this case we could probably 100% agree on. It's fine. Um, One big thing is that that theory was pointing out. I guess the actor for Ezra was like the voice actor for Ezra was like spotted in
Yep.
like that campus.
So there's this actor. I can't remember what show he's on, but he's on something TV series, and he's been trolling, like putting out tweets saying stuff like being trained by Kanan on Lothal or something along those lines. Wearing Star Wars shirt,
Yep.
playing Mandalorian music in his car. Dude looks like he could easily play an older Ezra. Then he starts saying like, "No, I'm just joking, guys, but nothing more." I
Yeah.
don't know what this guy's deal is, but whatever it is, I mean, it feels very Rosario Dawson trolling about Ahsoka Tano kind of
Yeah.
up there. So it'd be cool if it's true. I'd love to see a live action Ezra Bridger.
Bro, this is gonna be like a reunion, like a
And
uh,
this is a
uh,
great way to put away the sequels, right? Like it's a great way to kind of go into the
yeah,
sequels by simply playing along with the next stuff
Clone
being
Wars and
Clone Wars
and
stuff.
Rebels.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That I think it's genius. Like
yeah.
what they're doing, right? And I'm really excited. So like Ezra wasn't necessarily my favorite character on Rebels. I think Sabine was overall a better character, and
She's
of course
great.
Kanan was such a great character. Conflicted Jedi and all this stuff. He was a really really deep character, and I really liked him. But I think Sabine was a better character overall than Ezra. That being said, having this Mando bring Rebels and Clone Wars together with Ahsoka and Sabine, and then uh, and then Ezra, and basically, man, I don't want to get my hopes up, but this is probably gonna be good, bro. I'm really excited. Can't wait. 4 weeks, man. 4 weeks.
Yeah,
And we're
it's
there.
coming, man. It'll be
Yeah.
here before you know it.
Yep. I hope they release another trailer. Like, just give us
Really?
give us something, man. Give
Wow.
us something.
I'm sure
Yeah.
we'll get a TV spot or two that's gonna be new, but trailer.
Yeah. 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 But yeah, and just going along with Star Wars, right? The writer for Rogue One says that he's working on the next Star Wars series. So, yo, what's up with that, man?
Yeah, so I strongly believe that we're gonna get some Cassian Andor news coming up very, very soon. I know that's the next thing that, especially if we worked on Rogue One, and that's been already, announced for Disney Plus. I'm sure we'll get some news He's been teasing on Twitter that he's got some news coming next week, Star Wars related. Rogue One being the most beloved of the new Star Wars films, I'm sure that they're gonna have to bring some real strong heat with this show. No offense to Cassian Andor, I think I've seen it from many people, many Star Wars fans saying the same thing, where it's like cool character. We don't really care about him that much. Let's be honest, Obed. I, why is Rogue One so beloved? Aside from it being a good movie, what's the real reason that people love that movie?
Um, well, I can love it for multiple reasons.
But why is it common consensus for Star Wars fans?
Common consensus.
It has to do with a guy that we just talked about.
Well, I mean that there's the hallway sequence, right?
That's it,
The
man.
Vader.
That's it.
But I think overall the movie's
great.
great. Yeah, yeah.
The movie's great.
That was just like that's like, you know what? I don't like cherries on my ice cream, right? But that's the whipped cream on top, right? That Vader scene.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that movie doesn't do well without Vader. Don't get me wrong, but putting Vader in that movie just legitimized it.
Yeah.
Like, it made it completely acceptable to all the fans. They loved it, even though everyone jokes about the choking on your aspirations lines.
Oh, I loved it. It was
it didn't bother me.
No, it didn't bother me. That was so Anakin.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, like it didn't bother me, but like, so the reason I say all that is because I'm like, okay, Cassian Andor series. Not saying it wouldn't be good, but there's again gonna have to be this draw to some type of connection to the Force again, and some sort of strong surprises from that timeline in Star Wars. So that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that we'll get some kind of really good tease, not just we got pictures of these guys going back, which I know they're working on filming it. They've already announced some casting stuff, but I'm hoping that we get a really cool tease of some kind that none of us see coming. I have no idea what. Like, for them to greenlight that series, there's obviously something special about it aside from just saying you're a Rogue One spinoff.
Yeah.
So I have no idea, man. I mean, this is before obviously the events of Rogue One, if you've seen the movie. So I don't know.
Spoiler alert.
I don't know what to say, man. Do we get more Vader?
I don't know, man. You could say it's you know what? This could be like a Gundam 00MS team. Oh my god, the Gundam blew up. But then you have like 4 episodes later, dude's missing a leg, still alive. You know, I don't know. Could get anime on us. So, but I mean, Cassian series sounds okay to me. I would love to see the struggles because he clearly stated in Rogue One that he's been struggling since he was a little kid. With the rebellion, so I would like to see that. Moving along to more Disney Plus, but this time over in the Marvel end. I don't know where last week. I think it was like the day after we recorded.
Yeah.
They announced that they will have a Nick Fury series on Disney Plus, a Disney Plus, a standalone Nick Fury series starring Sam Jackson. So that's pretty interesting. No date, no this is like TBD. This is a TBD project, but it's definitely already in the works. Yeah, sounds good to me, man.
Yeah, so that series is a great decision to segue from that from Star Wars to that, because that's my feelings about it. Is that Sam Jackson is not just back for Nick Fury for Disney Plus. I know there's been rumors about this guy coming in for a Mace Windu series or something Mace Windu-esque. Dude, I totally see Disney pulling off some kind of special deal with this guy. I think there's more to be seen going on there, but that's just me purely speculating. From a Nick Fury standpoint, cool. I love how Disney, specifically Disney Plus, the kind of stuff that they're having coming out right now. Yeah. I love their thinking, their methodology. They're bringing out, some really cool stuff here. Obviously, from a Star Wars standpoint, the things that we've already gotten, Clone Wars and Mandalorian, and then now we're getting some more Marvel stuff. There's plenty of Marvel stuff that's been announced, and I like that they're taking these characters and really giving them that screen time. on Disney Plus, and the production value from what we've seen again already from Disney Plus, like Mandalorian, is
Yeah,
enough to make you have to watch and not feel like, oh, it's just this little TV show thing. Like it's gonna be good, I'm
yeah.
sure. But yeah, cool.
Good thing that like Disney's really going all in on Disney Plus, and that's great. Because there's more stories to be told other than the big, you know, $2 billion movie. And I appreciate it, especially right now when there's like nowhere to go. It's like nowhere to run. So just putting out stuff, putting out content on Disney Plus. I think they've realized, right, that they cannot put all of their eggs in the one basket, because
Yeah.
they need to be able to bring people, being if people cannot go to the parks, if people cannot go to the movies, they need to bring that content to the people. So this is the way to do it, right? Disney Plus, if you have cable and have Disney, they have the Disney apps that you can watch the shows from the Disney Channel. So that's they're gonna double down on that, because they really need it at the moment. So also, just to talking about Disney, because we talked about it off the air before we jumped in, but definitely our hearts go out to all those affected by the Disney layoffs. Fortunately, Disney had to cut 28,000 of their cast members. So yeah, I mean, Joel, I don't know if I mentioned it on the show, Joel, but we've talked about it, and I told you, it's like, dude, I think Disney's doing a big layoff thing before the end of the fiscal year, and that's exactly what happened, man. I felt it. I felt the disturbance in the force. So
You called it, and it's not something you want to be right about, but
yeah,
it's
yeah,
an unfortunate reality that they're facing. I definitely feel bad for all those individuals involved. A lot of talented people, a lot of
absolutely.
really quality employees. I'm sure Disney really is big on training and etc. So I wish them all the best. But man, the effect that's gonna have, it's thousands of people. So man,
Yeah,
it's
especially in
tough.
the
It's hard.
area. Yeah,
Yeah.
especially in this area. Most of those people are renters, and it's gonna get rough. But
I
we'll
mean,
see.
even from high levels up, they lost people, dude. I mean, like Disney
Yeah.
Imagineers, there's like 400 of them. I read. I was like, oh man, it's
Yep.
crazy.
Yep. I'm surprised that Kathleen Kennedy was not on that list.
I mean, not publicized.
Oh. All right. That's some spicy mustard for you from Joel. Uh, do you want to jump into games, or you want to talk Spidey? Let's talk Spidey, and then we can segue, because that's a good segue.
Sure.
Um, so number one, they want more Venom. They want Venom in the MCU. Number two, why is Electro back, Joel? Why, more specifically, why is Electro from the Amazing Spider-Man 2 back? Tell us about that.
Right. That's the right way to word it. I wouldn't mind Electro being back.
Yeah.
It's the Jamie Foxx Amazing Spider-Man 2 Electro that's got us all going, what is going on? Yeah, today
Yeah.
news drops that Jamie Foxx is returning as Electro from Amazing Spider-Man 2, reprising that role, but in the new Spider-Man 3 Tom Holland film that's coming out. And that's got everyone going crazy. Twitter went
Spider Verse.
ridiculous.
Spider Verse.
It's Spider-Verse.
Spider Verse.
Like you put that stuff out there, it's automatically Spider-Verse. You're not gonna bring in Jamie Foxx's Electro and not have any other stuff. I'm sure it's just because they're still negotiating what that deal looks like. Is it a 1 movie, 2 movie, 3 movie for the Tobey Maguires and the Andrew Garfields and all
Yeah.
this? But it's done, man. It's happening.
Okay. So if you're gonna bring one villain from the Amazing Spider-Man franchise,
Yeah.
you're bringing back Electro. We already have Venom, so we're not gonna see that '70s show guy back as Venom, or who knows, right? But would you like to see Willem Dafoe back as Goblin, or would you like Alfred Molina back as Doc Ock from the Tobey Maguire movies?
I mean, I would prefer Dr. Octavius. I've not seen that guy in forever, dude. I don't
Alfred
even like.
Molina.
Is he alive? Like,
Um,
I
man, no,
mean,
he's alive. He's alive.
yeah. I
I
mean,
was
I say
gonna,
that jokingly, but I'm just saying, like,
yo, you know what? You know what I was gonna say? I was gonna say last time I saw him was in Raiders of the Lost Ark.
oh no, no, no,
It's
no,
like
man.
because he's at the beginning of the movie where
Yeah,
he takes
yeah,
Indiana Jones into the temple, into the
yeah.
first
Oh, I
temple,
know. I love those movies,
and
man.
I was like, because I was watching that opening sequence like 2 weeks ago, and I was gonna say
Nice.
last time I saw him was in Raiders of the Lost Ark. Uh,
That movie's before Spider-Man 2, sir.
oh yeah, yeah. That movie's before Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
So damn, dude. All right. Yeah. Fill up some air while I look up what Alfred
Yeah.
Molina's been up to.
No, exactly. Yeah, please do. I'm sure it's probably some like random like independent stuff or whatever. But anyways, looking at this announcement, I would have rather have seen if you're gonna take a villain from Amazing Spider-Man 2, I would rather have been the Rhino, just because I think that's a character that at least we got the final form of Rhino in the end of Amazing Spider-Man 2, where he's in this robotic suit. I liked that actually. I know it looked for some people it was goofy, but I actually liked that because to have some kind of mutated Rhino man running around would just be a little goofy. So I think having the suit version already done would have been much better. But I guess they're really going to try and go big for this Spider-Verse movie, and having an actor like Jamie Foxx will automatically get people's attention, and that's what they want, right? They want publicity, they want attention. Dude, I feel like this movie, what's gonna be the icing on the cake for this movie is them announcing an actor for Miles Morales. I do believe that's gonna be coming at some point soon, when they do make a formal announcement of the movie. And I'm not even saying the person even has to have a major role necessarily. I don't know, but I just do sense that there's way more than just 3 Spider-Man that are gonna be in that movie. Should they make it? It's gonna be interesting. What's he been up to?
So he still looks good. He's been doing mostly VO. So he's been doing a lot of VO for Disney. He's in the Harley Quinn show. He's been doing Family Guy and American Dad. So he's been doing a lot of voiceover work for the last like
He's still
15
working,
years. Yeah. Oh yeah. Like it's a lot. Like the last 20 years basically. It's like after Spider-Man 2, it's basically like almost everything's voiceover work. But he still looks good. Like there's recent pictures of him. Like he's 65 years old, so he's 66, I think. So yeah. So he still looks okay. I mean, you don't have to CGI him, just makeup. It's
Well, I just mean, he's
oh, you
just
make
gonna,
it make
you
him
gotta
yeah.
make him moving and
Yeah.
whatever.
When did Spidey 2 came out? Like 2004, right?
Yeah. Man, that movie's so good. Oh my goodness, that
Movie's
movie
good.
is
You know what?
such a good movie.
You know what's funny is that uh, as a responsible human being, right, that tries to at least take care of himself, at least a little bit. I go take my blood work every 6 months and go to the doctor, make sure that everything's okay. For the last 3 years, I go to LabCorp, and they have Spider-Man 2 playing. So for the last 3 years, it's like, all right,
always playing.
It's always playing. So every time I go to LabCorp, it's like, all right, let's go watch some Spider-Man 2. It's always there.
It's like a VHS just stuck in the.
It's a DVD. They have a little DVD player with a crappy TV and Spider-Man 2. So here we go for the last 3 years. You've had this movie on
Someone
repeat.
wakes up, they turn on the TV, it's still playing.
Spider-Man 2.
This is just...
Yeah. I haven't watched it other than the last time that I was at LabCorp, which was like 3 weeks ago.
You weren't at Oscorp, sorry.
No, Oscorp. Yeah.
No, there are rumors. I'm sure you've heard that potentially there will be a deal struck to have those Spider-Man movies on Disney Plus. We'll see if that comes to fruition, but that'd be interesting.
Dude, you know which movie is on Disney Plus? The Wolverine. It's like that's not family friendly.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I actually watched a little bit of it on there. I was like, oh, I would have liked to have seen the unrated version or whatever, but that's not happening.
That's not happening. No, not on Disney Plus. No. There's a lot of Fox stuff coming though this month. I think X-Men 2. There's a few of the X-Men. I know the Fantastic Four movies are there. The ones with Chris Evans.
Yes.
They put him on. I think Narnia's coming out. They're gonna put Narnia next week or something. So there's stuff flowing in from Fox into Disney Plus. I'm sure they're just curating, right? Because they're not gonna put Aliens, and or or any of that. So they're not gonna put Predator and all the other like Fox properties. Stays on FXX or Hulu or whatever they use it. They put it on. Um, so yeah, it's Spider-Verse again. This is something that you said that they're going to step ahead of DC and try to get this out early, because that way they look like, hey, you guys, we did it.
Well, I mean,
And
let's
then,
be
yeah.
real, right? Michael Keaton Batman, love it, love it. Like huge fan of it. Ben
Yeah.
Affleck Batman, I liked him as Batman. I didn't love him as
Oh,
Batman, but
absolutely. Yeah,
I
yeah.
liked him. It was good. But let's be honest, bro. Tobey Maguire comes back in the Spider-Man suit. That
Yo, that
Yeah,
movie
I'm
theater would go
there.
nuts.
I
People
am
would rip their
there.
masks off. Yeah. The
Oh,
corona's in the air and you don't care. Yeah. Man,
no, yeah, oh, yeah,
that would be crazy, right?
yeah.
Like that would be like,
For this generation, that would be enough for them to go crazy.
oh yeah, yeah. Um, Going into Spider-Man and Spider-Verse, so I'm sure that you saw that they're changing the character model for Peter Parker on the PS5 version of Spider-Man. What's up with that, man? It looks a little bit like Holland, but the truth of the matter is that Yuri Lowenthal, the voice actor that voiced Spider-Man / Peter Parker, said that something happened where when they were trying to port the other face to PS5, the lip sync didn't look good. So they had to change the face to look more like Yuri. That way you can see like his facial expressions. So take it with a grain of salt. That's what Yuri said, but sometimes Yuri's full of crap. I don't know. No, yeah, Yuri likes to play around with fans. So and he's been doing VO for forever. So, yeah. But yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, so I put a little poll out. We put up a little poll out on social media, and everyone seemed to have a common consensus that they didn't necessarily care for it. They said it was too different. I asked, was it fine or is it too different? I am not of that mindset, Obed. Personally, my mindset is, if it would have looked like, if they would have made him look bad, you understand what I'm saying? Like, it would have been just like, oh, like this actually looks like the technology's gotten worse, or it's just it's like now the guy's got green hair instead of brown. You know what I'm saying? Like something just bad, the design, then I probably wouldn't be happy. It's it's definitely different. It's not like they tried to make adjustments. Like it's a completely different look.
Yeah,
Don't get me wrong.
there's other
But it
rumors.
doesn't make me angry, like by any means. Like it's fine, right?
Yeah. So there's other rumors that you know how, well, like the best example I can give you is the Resident Evil remakes. They use face models, and then you get someone to voice their lines. Someone was speculating that the model that they used for Peter Parker like wanted more money because the game now is going to be on like another platform, and they went ahead and changed his face, which is probably true too. I mean, who
Very
knows?
possible. It's a good theory. And
Yeah.
there's way more to it than I think just the simple port over as
What's-
well. I could see that.
Man, I'm thinking, what was the game? There was a game not too long ago, Joel, that happened to, that they changed like the actual like full character model. I can't remember who it was. I know that there was a Yakuza game not too long ago that the game got released, and like a month after the game got released, the one of the actors that they used their voice and likeness in the game was arrested in Japan for possession of marijuana. And for some reason, dude, Japan is like super nuts with like drug convictions, and like basically like you get convicted for drugs and you lose everything. So they actually patched the character model out of the game with a new actor and his lines and everything. Like this was
Wow,
like
that's
nuts.
serious. That's a
Oh,
lot of time and
dude,
money.
they don't play around with like drug
Wow.
convictions in Japan. So, um, I know that was one, but there was another one, it had to be like one of the older games that got a remaster, and then when we got the remaster, the character model changed. I can't remember the game. I'll look it up later, but
My thing
yeah,
is just like I think I don't have a problem with how he looks. My only complaint, and I think is very valid that I've seen many people saying is the too young, right? Like he does look too young.
he does,
Because
yeah.
if you play the game, you know that he's supposed to be a more mature Peter Parker.
Mm-hmm.
And the version they had before was believable for the age that they were going for. This to me looks like, yeah, this guy just still in high school or just started college, or something. Like he doesn't
Yeah,
look like he's out of college already in his professional career.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's a little strange. If they changed Mary Jane, that would be very strange too. I
That
don't
was
think that's
what that was
the case,
that.
but we'll see.
That's what I was gonna ask. I mean, was he the only one that was changed?
That's the only one they announced. They put out that announcement trailer, new
Okay,
Peter Parker
okay,
look,
okay.
and then they had the actual gameplay. And I sat there watching, and I was like, it's fine,
Okay.
sure, it's
Yeah.
different, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
And I'm the Spidey guy. If I didn't like
Yeah.
it, man, I have no problem saying otherwise. But
Yeah.
it's fine for me.
All right. All right. That's good. Yeah, it's gonna be fine. Don't worry, man, babies. It's gonna be fine. Um, you know what's not fine, Joel? Freaking PS5 pre-orders,
Ooh,
because it's been a freaking
rant,
night.
Obed.
All right. So I spent 6 hours, dude. No lie. No lie. I pinged you like at 9 a.m. last Friday. It's like, yo, I'm gonna refresh this thing all morning until something comes up. I don't want a bundle. I don't want to buy a bundle. I want a PS5. I don't want Spider-Man. I want Demon Souls. I don't want an extra controller. I don't want PS Plus. I want a PS5 because I don't know if I'm gonna go all digital or not, but I just want a PS5. So I started refreshing GameStop's site, and then they said, "Oh, at 10, oh, at 12." So at 12, like some bundles came out. Um, it was too much money. It was like 780, and it was Spider-Man, Demon Souls, an extra controller, and PS Plus. It's like, you know what? It's like, yeah, that's good, but I just want the console, right? And then I'll add more crap on top of it after that. It's fine.
And even if you wanted it, it's not like you could just click. Like even that went pretty fast too.
That one actually came up for me
Yeah, okay.
a few times. A few times, yep,
Wow.
a few times. So I had the opportunity, but I just wanted PS5. So no, there was nothing. There was nothing. There was no standalone PS5s that were released last Friday. Target, I was able to add it to the cart a few times, and then when I went to the cart, no, nothing's here. That was Friday, and then I gave up. There was like already like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's like, screw this, I'm done. I'm not gonna waste my time. I got crap to do and whatnot. I can't just keep like refreshing this site for the rest of the day. No, I haven't gotten anything back from Best Buy. I haven't gotten an invite from Sony. GameStop is saying that the next batch that they're gonna get may not get fulfilled until January. So I'm pretty much SOL right now, and I am not too excited. So there's that, sir.
Would you, let's just say for whatever reason, like this is the sake of conversation, like say that a digital PS5 is the only thing that's like available on Best Buy tomorrow, like that's it, they've got a bunch of them in stock, would you still hold out, or would you
No,
just say,
I want the
sure?
disc. I want the disc.
I see that.
Even though it seems like that backwards compatibility is completely useless, and we'll talk about it.
Right.
Um, I still want my option.
Okay.
Like I want the option.
I agree. I just was curious.
Yeah, because I want the option. If I want to replay a game, that's up to me, right? But I want to be able to have that option, and I want to be able to have the option to use it as a Blu-ray player. I want the option.
You actually will utilize it that way, but I think and we'll get into it in one of our other topics here about digital and whatnot. But I definitely think that generally speaking, like, okay, most casual gamers, it's not a big deal. Just get the digital one, whatever. But yeah, for those of us that use it, for sure. Uh, the thing about that's crazy about this is the fact that they went out of their way to put this tweet out, Sony, saying that, hey, this thing could have gone better. And in the next few days was their wording, there will be more PS5s. And not only will there be the next few days, there will be more throughout the rest of this year, 2020. So when you hear things like GameStop saying, look, next pre-orders very well could be January of next year. The UK, I'm sure you've heard how there's some places that it seems that they actually canceled, is what I'm hearing, canceled actual pre-orders and saying,
Game.
look, we
Yeah.
oversold more than what we had in our inventory,
Yep.
and there's some risk of some other places too. I hearing this, man, like this is it's a beautiful nightmare, if that makes any sense. Like
It's a
it's a
good problem to have for Sony, right?
right. It's a PR disaster because your name's gonna be run in the dirt. Like anytime you could announce PlayStation 10, like 30 years from now or whatever, and like people are still gonna be like, remember when that PS5 pre-order debacle? They better not screw it up. It's gonna be go down in a history for sure. But even though people might throw your name in the mud, they're still gonna buy your things. Like, let's be honest, right? It's like Apple, right? Like they could totally, botch a pre-order of the new iPhone, but people are still going to buy the new iPhone because it's the new iPhone. Like that's
Yeah.
kind of what they've become now with PlayStation brand under Sony. Is it's the same thing. So it's a
Yep.
good problem to have, but it is totally an absolute disaster. And yeah, it's not good for anyone. I feel bad for people like yourself that you know it's almost like if you didn't rush with the rush that happened that day, and even then it wasn't a good chance that you were going to get it. I mean, you all see my video. It was a miracle. And I still check that pre-order like daily, just like, is this real? Because it don't feel like it. And I'm just praying, dude, that I'm not going to be in that boat. That's like, because all it says is expected delivery November 12th. It does say that on my order,
So
but it doesn't say anything about like there's a chance that could even be delayed. Because remember, I was the second batch technically on
second
that.
batch, yeah. So when those bundles went up on GameStop, the it said right there on the page, um, this will ship November 30th.
Oh, really?
It said it. It said it. Yeah,
Wow.
and that's fine, right? Like if I can find a PS5 and it says it ships December 5th, I'll take it, right?
Okay.
I'm not. I'm not dying to have it day one, right? But yeah, yeah. But it really they really botched it, and they've could have. And I know that they were trying to keep a lot of this stuff secret, and that's why the retailers kind of like were flailing when everything got out and the price and whatnot. And it sucks, but you know what you gotta do, right? I mean, Xbox, when they announced date and time, and it was still a big problem trying to get an Xbox. Which, by the way, up until like yesterday,
Yes.
some SS went out.
Yeah.
Yeah. That like their SS are still like around. Like you could.
Which is the only thing I'd pick up. I keep saying, like,
Yeah.
if I had just unlimited cash flow, even if I was super rich, I wouldn't buy the X because there's just no point. I just buy an S.
Yeah, it's against the Game Pass machine basically.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, it stinks, but hopefully they'll make up for it somehow. But going into the backwards compatibility, so we've already talked that they've confirmed that the PS5 is backwards compatible with PS4. No other generations before that, and Jim Ryan confirmed again that that it will be compatible with 99% of the PS4 games. However, Joel, and this is a big problem for me, big problem. You cannot bring your saves over, even if you have them on the cloud.
Brand new.
Why? Yeah, like why is Jim Ryan against backwards compatibility? Because Jim Ryan is 100% against backwards compatibility. Like
Yeah.
that's this is not even a point of discussion, right? The dude's on record saying that he does not believe in backwards compatibility. Why look back when you can just keep going forward, right? Or something like that. He said like 15 years ago. Um, why, dude? Like, there's games like some of those games, like Monster Hunter. There's Monster Hunter coming out. It's gonna be on that PS Plus thing that they're gonna have. Why is not Monster Hunter? Why can I cannot bring my 250-hour Monster Hunter save file? Why can't I bring over my 160-hour Final Fantasy 15 save file? Like all this stuff, right? I don't know. And based on information that's out there already, you can do it with Xbox. You can just grab your file from the
Yes.
cloud and keep playing your Xbox One games on the Series X, because Series X is out there for like preview to a bunch of insiders and YouTubers. So why, Joel? It's
I mean, here's the thing, man. Like, we clearly saw the patent. It's not anything hidden. It's public knowledge. There's some documents out there around backwards compatibility with PS1, PS2, PS3. I mean, like, it's out there. I mean, this is not like we're not saying anything that's unreal. And then the news coming out that okay, no, it's just gonna be PS4 games mostly, 99%, not even all of it. Why not just tell us first of all what those, I don't know, 50, 60 games are that aren't going to work instead of just saying that most of them are. Um, how this is even going to work, just getting this update that guess what, your game saves are not going to be there. Huge, punch to the chest, at the gut. But then just the matter of fact, even just knowing, not even knowing how it's going to work, like basically, dude, my thing's going to come in and I'm just going to take one of my PS4 discs and just go, we'll see, and just see how it goes. I don't know, man. Like, I don't know what to expect. It's cool. It's cool that I have the option, but it's very concerning, the approach that they've had to backwards
yeah,
compatibility. It makes no sense. Very, very strange. Happy that I have gonna have the feature, but very confused as to why this is the approach that they're taking. It would
yeah,
seem like an easy, to me, from even just from a development standpoint, it doesn't seem like it'd be anything hard to say you have access to these game saves. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking
yeah,
from one angle that's with limited knowledge, but it just very hard for me to imagine that this would be difficult for them to do. It just seems more like a decision. Like, no, we're not doing this. We're just gonna have it. We're not gonna spend time with these saves and just
yeah.
make it new.
I mean, when you think about it, unless the file system that the PS5 is using is substantially different from from that of the PS4, that somehow this save file format that these games use are just not compatible with that file system.
Right.
That would be the only thing, which is you know kind of crazy if you ask me, because it's just a file. You can just find a block of space in the hard drive where, oh, everything that goes in this block of space belongs to a PS4 save file, and I know it, and the system would know to look for that information and how to handle that information, right? Like you said, it's not necessarily that difficult. Like, you know, again, I haven't coded, I haven't programmed in a long time, but I work with applications all day, and I don't think that doing something like that is you know impossible. Like,
Look, man, I've worked on some
it's
very difficult workflows, some that are still being worked on. And
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know, man, this don't sound like the craziest thing. Obed knows I'm talking about.
Oh my
This don't
goodness, yeah.
sound like one of the ones, man, that would have to get
uh,
me saying, man, this is
yeah.
too.
Just let's say that you don't need to overreach there, Joe.
Yeah.
Um, Xbox, yeah. so so uh, so Phil Spencer now confirms that consoles are going to be around another generation, despite all the digital and cloud options that are popping up. Yeah, I mean, as long as you can sell someone a piece of something, they're gonna buy it. So consoles are basically going to keep happening forever. So there's nothing new. I agree 100% with that statement from Phil. So yeah,
Yeah, seeing the interview, like, to me, it wasn't even much for him to have to defend his stance. He's like, at some point, like, even when you have your streaming options, like, people are still gonna want a streaming, like a console for those streaming, and it's gonna be that hardware is gonna still be needed for us to evolve. Like, I mean, you're gonna have 8K, 16K, whatever the future's gonna keep holding, and you're gonna need the hardware to back it up. I don't think anyone's just gonna. I mean, I say this now, right? And then, like, I'm gonna be a grandfather and be like, "Remember when you had to buy a box?" And it's gonna be like, built into your brain or whatever.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was
The
gonna say.
Neuralink,
Remember when you had to actually hold your iPhone? Now I
Right.
have it in my retina.
Right.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't know, man. But I just think for like realistically, for like he's saying, like for the next generation and very very well beyond that, to be determined. But at least for this won't be the last console generation. It's like
correct.
people had those conversations with PS4, and they were like, oh, could this be it? And listen, guys,
PS3
as much as
consoles are dead.
I
Consoles are
know.
dead. Yeah,
And
yeah,
then
yeah.
it happens every console generation. And, as now we have smartphones and our smartphones get smarter, people instantly assume, well, nobody's going to want a console. Have any of you guys played smartphone games? They're fun. Don't get me wrong. Like I do them too, but it's not the same, guys. It's not nearly the same. And
Yeah.
yeah, so that we still got time on our hands. We'll be playing our PlayStation 6 and probably PlayStation 7.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Joe, last bit of news. There was a small Nintendo announcement this morning.
Yes,
A lot
sir.
of people were really disappointed, but here's my view. Right, I'm one that I would have loved to see another character, but at the end of the day, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is video games to video game, so you'd need to have a character from the most popular video game in history, which is Minecraft.
Makes sense.
So Steve and Alex are gonna be on Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Uh, People were calling for Dante and Sora from Kingdom Hearts. Like, it's fine. I don't think Dante really belongs in Smash. I mean, neither does Bayonetta, and she's there, right? Uh, but other people are saying it's like, oh, why didn't Xbox just put Master Chief? That would have been just better instead of Minecraft Steve and whatnot. It's like, what? No, no, no. It's like Doom Guy. Like, do you see that some people were actually like wanting Doom Guy? And I was like,
I
what's
did, yeah.
Doom Guy gonna do in Smash, dude? No, no. Yeah. I mean, it's a necessary sacrifice. It's a character slot that needs to be sacrificed to the video game gods, and Minecraft Steve is now in Smash. So yeah,
Yeah,
that was basically it.
fine. I saw people go crazy about it. I was like,
Oh
it's
yeah,
fine. I'll play him, sure.
yeah, yeah. So that's basically it. I did a quick scrub. There's no breaking news, so we're good to go, man.
Fantastic. Good people of No Load Time, thank you for watching or listening to our show. We want to invite you to stay connected with us. So make sure you subscribe to our show. We're on iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, Spotify, and on Amazon. Of course, you can subscribe to our video version on our YouTube channel. Make sure you follow us on social media at No Load Time. That's at No Load Time on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. We also welcome you to send in any feedback, questions, comments. You've probably got something to say after hearing everything we've had to say, and we'd love to hear what you have to say. So send an email to noloadtime@gmail.com. That's noloadtime@gmail.com. Thank you again very much, everyone, and we'll see you on our next episode.
Thank you guys. Stay safe. We'll see you again next time.